Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 63 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. Now in the last episode we went all the way up to tier 5 skyscrapers, finally seeing all the necessary components needed to sustain such a huge level of demands. We also progressed the story with Donnie the skyscraper investor and unlocked the drugstore in the process, and I believe at the moment we're actually just waiting on it to fulfill its first order of creating some toothpaste. So this episode I thought we'd take a little bit of a different tact and slow down a little bit. I've been kind of focusing hard on just getting to the top tier of this skyscraper here for the investors. That's why there's just a big ugly block of them in the center here. But people in the comments have been kind of saying like, just slow down a little bit, you know, build a nice skyline. I think that's something I want to do in this episode. Not necessarily a full-on beauty build, but I'm definitely going to spread some stuff out, try to grow that population. And there's a few other reasons for that. A lot of suggestions in the comments as well in the previous couple of episodes that suggested that some of the items we have made over in the Research Institute can be used much more efficiently. And the one that comes to mind is the Get Rich Quick Volume 4, The Wasteland. So we had read this before. It affects chemical plants for both lemonade and chewing gum, and also then the artisan's workshop for cognac, but then it also affects all drinks production. That's really the ticket that I kind of missed out on. And people are saying, dude, you have a massive drinks facility over in Crown Farms, so get stepping. And let's move that item over there and see how much we can get out of that, because of course that item produces extra ethanol at once every 4 cycles, and I think we've got something like, I don't know, 10 or 15 or more, you know, schnapps distilleries, rum distilleries, all that stuff out there. So we're gonna get the Red Baron, the airship queued up, heading over to Swords, pick that up and deliver that back over. Now I believe this should get created soon. We're just waiting on coal to arrive. It's actually on the way. We redirected it on the route to get in place. And the other thing I noticed was that, so that should fulfill the drugstore, but if we want to fulfill violins, I believe we've made them, right?
You're in the presence of a virtuoso.
Absolutely. Yes, so violins are getting made here. So we have violins. That might be a bit more of a temporary thing, but let's add it to the route. I actually never added it to the Lusk to Swords 9.
Aren't all smiles. A perfect advert. But something's off. I know the mouth breathers are buying, but the numbers don't add.
The toothpaste is a hit, but its financial reports don't make sense or don't align with... There's a discrepancy, apparently.
I know you're a tattletale.
Okay. Right, so violins should be added to the route now. So we should see them kind of make their way to our investors in our tall buildings. Now, another thing from the comments, another great suggestion. Actually, let's just queue up that... Let's just get this item on this thing. Transfer that stuff over, go over to the items, go over to the trade union, grab the Get Rich Quick. We're just going to bring that one, we don't need anything else, and send it straight over to Crown Farms. So while that's en route and in progress, I wanted to also mention another thing from the comments. This one actually I don't think was quite accurate, but it led me to find out something that I didn't know. So the comment was along the lines of influence regarding the different buildings. Of course, I always feel like I'm short on influence. To me, that's the real currency of the game. In terms of limiting your expansion, limiting what kind of trade unions and how many items you can kind of use, all of that sort of stuff. And the really interesting thing pointed out, at least in the comment, was that we're getting 4 influence here. By default, with a non-skyscraper, we get 2. Right, but we're getting 4 for a level 5, right? This is where we see our tier of skyscraper. And they were saying, no. You get 1 per level. The number you're seeing on your screen is wrong. Now, I did some testing. I downgraded the building. I added up how much influence we get back. The number's correct, so it's not that. Now, if you play on an easier difficulty, you get a different amount, so that could be why. But what it did lead me to find out was while I was testing that, I checked out the engineer buildings, and I noticed that we're actually getting influence... Excuse me. That we're actually getting influence from the engineer skyscrapers. This is tier 3, and we get 2 influence for that. So we get way more influence for just building up, you know, 3 tiers of skyscraper, rather than building 5 and only getting 2 extra, if that makes sense. Now, people were also telling me that the... I don't even know what it's called, the High Life skyscraper tower monument thing apparently takes 75 skyscrapers maxed out. I don't know if that's investors or engineers. We'll find out eventually. So it's even more than I thought. So we'll figure all that out as we get there. But it's just good to know that I can create a lot more engineers and just start leveling them up and start getting influence. So I think I'll actually be fine for influence for a long time, because we do actually produce a lot of goods in excess that the engineers use, surprisingly. It's more the low tier stuff that I actually don't make that much of, like canned goods and Typically things that take iron or steel I've been low on, but things that don't I've been actually pretty good with.
Found discrepancies. I don't like to point the finger, but sounds like Miss Jenny's spritzing our budget on personal endeavors. I think you're more discreet than me. Think you can check?
I could have a look. Industrial
These are
espionage.
changing times, partner. Industrial secrets are worth their weight, and I'm not about to chip away at my worth.
No, indeed. Alright, so I'm kind of maybe going to leave the quests for a little while in this episode. Maybe we'll get to it towards the end, but I want to focus on, like I said, the skyline, some optimization stuff. So, tailing the engineer, find Miss Jenny and swords. So she's right over there, according to that thing. It's funny, actually, because, yeah, I'd noticed when I went over the footage of the last episode, I realized that, like, oh, it seems clear that Miss Jenny is the one sabotaging things, because I don't know, it just seems clear. Like, we were looking for someone out there, she had a fake mustache. When we were trying to find her, she was missing. It's actually obviously painstakingly obvious looking back on it, so it seems like it's to do with her, but we'll find out. I actually don't know. So we have a shortage of artisans. So I noticed that we have a town hall here, and these items were actually really placed in as placeholder. So the first one we have is the miserable Max's brutal tax. So that's giving us an increase to income per household at the expense of some happiness. Don't feel like we need that. Income's totally fine, so let's get rid of that. That's shaved off 2,000 income. And let's have a look for increasing workforce. I think we've got some items by default, but I could always make some in the Research Institute if we need. -8, but you get 20% workforce back. Although it's engineers and investors. 10%. 50%. 50% for the same 4. Negative happiness. So that'll be the same happiness, but we get 50% workforce. Boom. 575 extras. That gave us 675 workforce for this area. And then I think I'll keep the actor in place because she does actually help the needs of providing rum and canned food, so that's always nice. But this one here just provides, again, bonus income from the variety theater, beer, rum, penny farthings, pocket watches. Let's say, see you later. You've done a great job. We don't need you anymore. Any more workforce? 15% increased chance of illness.
From its voyage.
15% at the expense of 2 more happiness. 30% at the expense of 3 happiness. Let's go. Minimum working age 6 act. If they aren't at nursery, they may as well work. Get them down the chimneys. Alright, 980 artisans. Just like that. So those violins are going to be coming in no problem. I have no doubt. Let's see, are they here yet? They have not arrived yet, though. And then, of course, we need to make toys. So let's just work on that. It shouldn't take too long. I think we've pretty much got everything we need for that. Toys. Let's go. So that's the final thing that we need. So it's felt, celluloid, and lacquer. And I think we actually have all of those things. We've got some lacquer, we have celluloid, and we have felt. We're going to obviously have to increase the amounts that are arriving here. I don't think we have everything we need for it. So I'll get back to that in just a moment, but we'll add it to the route, or at least to a route, this one here, as something else that can arrive, and hopefully we might just get it even if it is temporarily. I also saw the comments that said, yeah, I'm such an idiot. Like, I was saying 1 to 10, and then I was like, how do I do this where the alphabetical ordering doesn't get messed up? People are like, you could just go 0, 1, 0, 2, you know. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Sometimes I just get blinders on and I don't see something that's right in front of me, or I don't think of the obvious. Now, the first thing I want to do here is say see you later to all these docks, because I'm gonna do the unthinkable and start destroying a part of the docklands. I decided that I think on the left side we can get rid of some of the depots here. As much as I hate to do it, I think we have to. Alright, and then we can move this over, the Grand Trading Post. And at least this means that... Oh my god, look at that. I have to connect it up, otherwise problemo. There we go. Why is that? Oh, that's because of the commuter pier doesn't have a connection to the warehouse. That's what it would have been for a second. Missing goods. Missing iron. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, we've got a lot of issues. Alright, I'll have to sort all that out. But, although iron deliveries are probably coming in. These ships have redirected. This one hasn't. Just move over there. And then... Oh, that's weird. It's reset the route. It's going to go back to where it was originally. Well, I'm going to manually drop your stuff off then. Ah, screw it. It'll be fine. So it's the same with this thing. Yeah, oh, that's so weird. It automatically replayed, but it's... So normally when you're on a trade route and you move, it'll pause the route, right? If I was to do it now, I'm sure it'll work. Yeah. That time it actually resumed the route on its own accord. It's like it knew that it was messed up or something. Anyway, just do what you want. Just come back to the right place. That's all that really matters. So, of course, if people aren't familiar with why I've done that, it's because all the ships are just queuing outside the wrong side of the port. This place has loading speeds of, like, I don't know, 20 tons per second or something crazy. What is it? 26 tons per second. So a ship of 300, what's that, like 12 seconds or something? Pretty crazy. Pretty fast, you know? For a full ship. Whereas the other side had, like, minutes. So it's just way more efficient to be here. I also don't know how I've managed to do that. That doesn't seem right, surely. Anyway, I'm going to put the extra piers on this side. I'm going to get rid of some oil storage. Maybe get rid of that. And then we'll just select to get more piers. Ah, there you go. That works. And then maybe just switch this to be a corner one. Just to look a little nicer or something. What's that? That's a Harbor Master office. Yeah, I think this is bugged. That shouldn't be like that. Or shouldn't have let me put this down this way. But I'm not going to say no to it now. It's nice having the crane over the other crane there. I think it actually looks kind of cool. I wonder... Should I move the piers further down and move this further up? Because it has a little flag on top. That might look kind of nicer that way. Although this probably can't... Oh, it can. Yeah, that's fine. Although the ships would get really bunched up, wouldn't they? If it's in front of the supply warehouse as well. Let's just see what it looks like for a sec. I think that looks maybe a bit better. Work in progress. I guess we'll have to have a look at it again at some point and see what we could do to change it. Let's just really quickly go artisans, docklands, ornaments, and maybe put some seating in front of it, or a lamppost or something. And then just the regular pier would be good. Anyway, it's a bit of a temporary fix, like I said. I'm not happy that I've had to do this. I really, really am holding out hope that they'll update it so that you can either tell them to stop using this or that the AI just knows to use the ones that are faster. Which would be good. Actually, you might as well make that road. Why not? Alright, well, anyway, it should vastly increase or just you know, makes everything a little bit more efficient. Things are just running a bit faster. You should never have anything queued up, you know? There's no need for that when you've got a docklands like this. So at least we'll never see ship queues anymore, I don't think. Okay, good. So back to the Island of Swords. We've increased the workforce. We've tackled that. That's no problem. And also built that extra building to get toys. We added toys to the route. We added violins to the route. We have violins now. We have the drugstore operational. All right. Now what I'm going to do is start making this area look a little bit nicer. So what I'm going to have to do is just create some space, because we're out of space. Move maybe a couple houses over, and then we'll deal with other things. I'm just wondering, should I do this now, or... Yeah, I guess actually just before I do that, I hate to be a tease, but we'll just go over to Crown Farms, because that's where our thing has arrived. And just see what we're going to get for this ethanol. So we'll drop off the item. There it is. So this is the drinks production facility I guess people were talking about. We've obviously got two. This one down here is combined with malt, whereas this one is all drinks. So it's insane. And pretty happy with it. It's all breweries and then schnapps. So I didn't have a look at these items. So what have we got? Brother Hilarious. Productivity 50%. He also provides rum. Workforce reduction 50%. Wow, he's great. Lewis Brindley of the Oxcast. Schnapps Distillery, productivity 100%. Rum is also produced from Lewis here. Every three cycles. Think of that. They both produce things every 3 cycles. So it's like 2 every 3 cycles, yeah? You get 2 rum every 3 cycles, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 27 buildings operating at how fast? 400%. I mean, the amount of rum that's coming out of this place is insane just from that item alone. And then the last one is we have the Grandiloquent Copper Distiller. Affects all drinks production, 50% productivity. I'm going to say goodbye to this, so we're going to go down to 350. And we'll throw in the Get Rich Quick. And that's going to now provide ethanol. Now, just as a test, actually, what we can do is go into the statistics screen, go all islands, consumer goods. Actually, it's an intermediate, I think. There it is. 10 to 10. So we produce 10. I think we produce it all in the New World chemical plants, and we consume 10. Let's now see how much we produce globally when we add the item back in. 43. God damn, that's 33 coming just from that item alone because of the all the factories we have. Now, the only concern, slightly, look at all that ethanol, holy crap, is that this only produces as long as it's not full, right?
People.
And I know for a fact that beer fills up. So something I was thinking about doing was I noticed that globally brass isn't being produced enough. So what we could do is sell some beer. We don't have any beer being sold here in Docklands. Again, this is again subject to another sort of overhaul at some point, or at least a rethink and a redesign of what we want to sell. But for sure, and I think we can have another contract thing in there because it's usually even, I think. But for sure we can get rid of some beer and bring in brass and see what the exchange rate is. Brass is blue tier, 1.4 exchange ratio. So let's see. I think globally we're only short a couple hundred every 20 minutes. Because of course Sir Tobias arrives every about 20-25 minutes. So let's just put it up to, I think global production totals out at around 800. Let's just bring it to 1,000, why not? Oops. And Tobias is arriving in 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do, just for fun, set a timer for that 15 minutes. We'll pop over here in 15 and see how that's going on. That means that ethanol production will probably stop, you know, when beer hits that top level for a while. Now, I guess really what you'd want to do to measure this is see how exactly... I'm not going to do it now, I'll get too bogged down. But you'd want to see exactly like, well, how much beer is left by the time he gets here. And then... Or like how much is being used every 20 minutes. And that way you can know, okay, we're never going to like fill up storage. And the worst case scenario, you could just literally get a ship to throw it overboard somewhere if you wanted to on some sort of trade route. I'm not going to go that crazy. That'd be a hell of a waste. But that ethanol production is fierce. Camphor wax, a natural and versatile product of the camphor tree. Alright. We'll let them do their thing. Actually, we do need to set up a route that deals with that, though. So what we're going to do is send a trade route. I'm just going to call it ethanol for now. On the Cape to the Old World. Add any old ship to it. The Kingfisher, perfect. We're going to select Cape Trelawney, Crown Farms. Load up ethanol. I've already made 83. It's insane. Let's do that. Let's do that. Maybe 150 is good. And then tell it to go to Lusk. Drop it off there. So that's going to bring the ethanol that we're now making in Crown Farms to Lusk, right? Pretty simple. I'll have to rename that route at some point in the future too. But what the big effect of this is now, I need to get my mind straight for this. It's so difficult keeping everything straight in your head. Is that in the New World, we consume ethanol. That's the tricky thing. So this building, in order to make celluloid, which we're going to need more of, right? Because globally, we just added that extra toy maker building, right? Which required celluloid. Now we need more than we produce. But the good thing is, with these 3 chemical plants that are making ethanol, don't need to make ethanol anymore. We can switch this to celluloid. And that's going to say that, hey, we need more cotton, we need camphor, and we need ethanol. These still are producing ethanol, but I'm going to turn them off.
Go back to your families.
So they're paused for now. These 2 being on, excuse me again, should, that means things will be even. Okay. Now, cotton I feel like is getting low, but one problem at a time. This should keep us going for quite a while, I think. The only difference here then would be the ethanol route. So we have another ethanol route. The skyscraper supplement route. So this is coming back from Port of Banús. We're going to invert it, as Christopher Nolan would say. So we'll just basically load the ethanol and unload it at Port of Banús. So it's the opposite way around. Think that works. And then back at Lusk, the last thing we'll need to do is set a limit and say don't take the ethanol unless you can. Because you also need it here. So let's say don't take it unless 100. Because we're delivering 150. So you can take 50. Alright, there you go. Logic. I think I've done some things. How are the toys coming along? I'd love to see it. Celluloid should increase. We have lots of felt. I don't know about felt. I'll have to look at that at some point. But at least we've got toys. And toys were added to the route, right? Toys for Bob. Yes, they were. Okay. All right. In theory, I think I've done it. Now we can have a look at our skyline. Oh, look at it. Oh, excuse me. I think I caught him at a bad time. Hey-oh. All right. Toys. There you go. We're already supplying it. Easy. What the hell's everyone's problem? It's easy. Okay. Now, let's start. I'm only joking, by the way, of course. I know the worst is yet to come. Let's start filling out this area, yeah? I want to do our... I'm still debating internally in my head whether I'm not going to get rid of this central park, but I'm also radically thinking about, is it time to say goodbye to the workers? And is it time to create another city out here? Depends. Depends what we need and everything, but I'd like to keep them if I could. They're a mainstay of the Island of Swords, but who knows? They might end up migrating over here to Rush, which is connected anyway, isn't it? So, you know, it's a natural progression as time is moving. As we approach our 100th episode, I believe in the next episode is going to be 100 episodes deep on this series. So you could kind of say if every episode was a year, we're at the year 19, you know, we're at the year 1899 right now. Which is kind of crazy actually, really. But I like to think it's maybe going that way. And that way you can kind of rationalize skyscrapers a bit more. Maybe not to this extent, but hey, we're creating our own history, not just reliving it. Okay, so let's move a couple of these guys over there. Oh, don't give me shortfalls. Oh, yeah. The item requires more farmers, or it requires more workers, that item. Its workforce needed 20%. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, just to fix that, this will be really quick. Again, I have room for building out the lovely farmer village out this way. And I'm not going to do that now, but we'll just create a mini side village here as a placeholder for something that I need to create in future. And this should just keep them happy and just give us the workforce we need to make that not a problem. Okay, so that should grow. That should be more than enough houses there. Alrighty, back to the job at hand. So this will just take a minute or so of moving these things around. And we'll try to... then I'll rotate them and try to organize the skyline a little bit better. Now, I'm not going to go full beauty building, because like I said, we might have to do things differently. But I'll at least face them the right way and make it look a little bit better. But I'm not going to go into individual modules and try to, you know, change their design or whatever. I think it's fine. And this would be nice to see how much more population we get. We should really track the population now. Just right now, engineers at 17,160. I'm just going to write that down for fun. 17,160. Oh, by the way, I just thought of something. That ethanol route can take the extra brass. Not that one. This one. It can take that extra brass that we just created here and bring it to Swords. Or Lusk. Okay. Anyways, alright, we've done just over half. And then we'll see exactly how the, what's it called? The panorama feature kind of works out for us and gets us a little bit more
My analysis is
population. I think I've just removed the engineer household belonging to Miss Jenny. AKA, what was her name? Her actual name? Isn't Miss Jenny like the name that he just calls her? I think her name was, damn, come on, Darren. Can you remember this girl's name? Surely. Theodora. That was it. It's Theodora. Okay. And then the rest we're just going to upgrade, because I think we're out now, are we? We're done. There's no more tall buildings here. How have I done this where the...
galvanized.
Pop you back in there and pop you back here. Alrighty, so now they can all be upgraded. Boom. Strangely, that one can't. Why? Which, I don't know. Just the way I've moved it in there, I guess. Oh, it's already a skyscraper. That's why. I'm an idiot. Okay, so let's start organizing this and rotating some of these buildings that aren't correct. So this one. And this one. And that's a corner building, so we'll just fix that. This needs to be a corner. Something like that. Okay, so I'm still a little confused with the panorama thing. This is intense. That's what's confusing me. How the hell is that intense? It's only got 2 next to it. I thought you needed at least 3. I thought you needed 4, to be honest. That doesn't seem right to me, that that can be intense. This one's moderate. Let me just see something else. These are all level 2.
I have revised.
This became strong. So why is this strong, but this is intense? This is it's a 2 next to a 1 and a 1. This one's a 3 next to a 2 and a 1. Does it matter how high it is? Is it because it's a level 3 next to a 2? Well, actually, it tells you, doesn't it? Let's see. Panorama effect calculation. Okay. Select different skyscrapers to see how and which neighbors are tinted with colors. Select different skyscrapers. So green equals a smaller skyscraper, acts like a 1 modifier. Brown is a taller skyscraper, it acts like a -1 modifier. Skyscraper of equal height acts like a -1 as well. So if you're next to one that's the same or taller, that's a negative. And a no color, it's too far away. No effect, it's not a skyscraper, no effect. The sum of all modifiers determines the panorama effect that the skyscraper will get. This will never go below 0 or go above 5. Example with level 2 skyscraper, the starting value is 2. And the sum of all modifiers is 4. I don't get it.
The other day, someone mistook me for an engineer's wife.
It doesn't say anything like, oh, you're a 3 and like it doesn't. It says it's either just taller or not, right? It doesn't say like you're taller by 2 modules. So that calculation doesn't seem quite correct to me. Is it because it's looking at this? Let's move that house. No, that's not it. It's not colored green anyway, so it wouldn't have made it. I don't know. I won't get too bogged down on it. If you think you have the answer, let me know. But that does not seem correct to me, based on how it described itself. Now, I'm guessing if I make this a level 3, it will become intense, because that should match that side. It does. So it must be based on height, but it doesn't say that. So I'm not complaining. I just want to figure it out, you know. But it doesn't say like. None of these say +2, for instance. You know, this one here that's taller than that. Or taller like the, well, it's not giving me a great example here, but one that's taller 2 levels over, it doesn't say, oh, it's +1 modifier for every level. It doesn't say that anywhere, unless it's in here. Each individual skyscraper counts other skyscrapers within a certain radius when calculating its panorama effect. The higher the skyscraper is, the bigger its radius will be. So okay. The bigger... Regular residences are not taken into account. So a level 5 skyscraper looks at more around it for that panorama. Okay, that kind of makes sense. But this still only has 2 things colored green. That's my whole point. The green shows that it's like, yeah, I'm taller than one, I'm taller than another. That's a 2 modifier. How is that equaling like a level 4 intensity? But again, don't know. You can let me know. Doesn't really matter anyway. I could just figure... Well, it does, actually. But I can figure it out and move on with my life regardless, I guess. But basically what I'll probably do is just use the corner buildings as taller ones for now to get that bonus. But in future I'll probably just change it so that it's things that I think look nice. See, that's strong. And then what if you were to increase this? Does that do anything? That made that one intense. So it's not a... Oh, look at that. So it doesn't actually have to be directly across. Nice. Did they patch that? Because I thought I complained about that before and said, oh man, I wish they would patch it just for me. I'm going to pretend like they did. Thank you. I'm glad that it's more forgiving. I thought it was basically like you have to be in perfect grid alignment. But it seems like you don't. I could have sworn you did. Didn't I say, like, here, Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we were looking here, this is where I came up with that. I was like, yeah, it's so sad that we don't get counted. But maybe it's just because maybe they weren't skyscrapers yet, and I just had as residents. That could have been what happened. Okay, anyways. Let's just do some quick upgrading then. And then when they grow a little bit, we can upgrade them even more if we wanted to. There you go, it's coming along nicely. Looking a little bit better. A little bit better. I still think it looks kind of weird. But that's probably because we just need some more on the outskirts and falling off a bit more gradually. That's probably why. It's kind of hard to even remember which ones are and aren't tall now. Let's do postcard view. It's usually the best way actually to see this kind of thing. Oh, what the hell? Oh, you can postcard view attached to an object? I had no idea that was a thing. That's kind of cool. Actually, let's do that. Oh, yeah. I've never done that before. Is that a thing? That's nice, though. Anyway, postcard view is F1 as a key, for those who don't know. So just press F1. Now we can get down and have a look at our boys. So tier 3 is the highest we can go with an engineer household. And I know I haven't done it perfectly, by the way. I know that's not every 2 gap I've made one bigger. And there goes the timer. We can have a look at Captain Tobias arriving now. And then we have our monumental tower blocks over there that we've created that we have to move around. So I wrote down that number of engineers. We'll get back to that and have a look at how they're doing. So let's see. Captain Tobias should be pulling in any moment. 8 seconds. I guess we've got a bit of time till he actually arrives. So there you go. All schnapps full up. So no ethanol being produced right now from all of them. That's the issue. Ethanol is at 9 out of 36. So there's like 30 tons of ethanol that's not being produced per minute. Because that building is offline. Not that it's a huge problem. We're obviously making so much excess. I don't even think we can get rid of that much ethanol. But, or use it. But it's still, I'd like to constantly produce it. Maybe we could sell it in the, whatever it's called, docklands, you know? So when you've got items relying on productivity, I think you should at least clear up the space so that they do get created. So let's just, I don't know, am I selling schnapps? I actually am. Not for anything terribly useful, though. But you can obviously just drastically... Like, what would happen? How much, can you get, oh no, you obviously can't do that. Damn. Something a bit weird, you know, like caoutchouc or something that's kind of tricky to come across. I could see, like, getting rid of that for caoutchouc would be a good idea. Something like that, you know, or more brass, even. Hell, even gold. I don't mean to swear.
A token of my people's goodwill.
Because you could bring gold over to Lusk on that other ship as well. Seeing as we need it for... Although it doesn't make any sense, actually, because that is being used to trade. Yes, that doesn't actually make sense. Maybe just cigars. Sure, why not? Or in-basin items like tapestries. Telephones. Raw materials is always good, but we're actually just like full up, you know? Just full up on them. Caribou meat will be another good one. Anyway, we'll think about it. Has he reached? Is he here yet? There he is. Oh yeah, I guess this feature was in the game before. I just didn't think it was for buildings. I knew it was for ships though. So there he is. So he's made his deal. That's gonna mean that all our things are producing now.
Hard hats here.
Hard hats here. Something like that.
Hide the bottle. It's the boss. It's the boss.
Alright. Alright. I mean, I've pretty much done everything I wanted to do in this episode. And surprisingly, we actually,
Welcome.
Oh yeah, I probably need to find a new place for these things. Because these are needed, aren't they? What do we need here? Furniture store, department store. So our furniture store is here. Oh man, we're just lacking 1, 2, 3 houses in total. That's okay though, we could always double up and have like two different separate items, right? And get better benefits on both sides. You could even have it all the way up there if you wanted to. I really liked our little cut through, our uneven like cut through here, the children's playground. But it might be the type of thing that I get rid of for a big plaza. Maybe. Have to figure it out. There's a big redesign coming, for sure. There has to be, ultimately. So a level 3 skyscraper, does that require... It does require a drugstore. So a drugstore we placed over here. And I wasn't too happy with the placement of that. I might move it and just slot it in somewhere like this. And that covers the entire park as well. Again, not too happy with the final placement of that, but might ultimately go with it. So let's get rid of just a couple of these. And just move this over. This toothpaste wielding. Oh, it doesn't actually affect the... it wouldn't affect these then. Can't get it in range of everything. Or can we? That'd be in range of them now. Well, anyway, they're going to move. So, yes, what am I saying? Might as well just pop another one down. Screw it. And again, have to do this ugly cut through, but until I redesign this, this is the way it's going to have to be. But that should give them what they need to grow. So let's have a look. Do we get to see? Those are all the tier 3 skyscrapers. We can go up a bit higher, though, with some of the other ones now, I'm sure, if they've grown. Not yet. What's your problem? Just haven't grown yet. We just need more time. So let's have a look at how much engineer population we have. And that's with us destroying a few houses just there. So we were at 17,160. We're currently at 17,937. So we've gained about 800. And climbing. I guess we gained over 1,000, but we destroyed a few. Alright, let's progress the quest now that we've got a little bit of a better looking skyline. I'm fairly happy with that. We'll keep continuing to upgrade and push out more and more houses. I don't mind doing that. All the way out this way as well, I think. And then try to make space for drugstores, department stores, furniture stores, etc. And then we'll have a look at... I haven't checked like the needs of all these people and see what we're going to need, so we'll have to give that a shot. And just to keep the Research Institute moving, let's just do more fields of research. Tech advancement, the final 2 items, I think. Or 3, sorry. Oh, it is 2. Interspecies grafting affects all orchards and actually provides citrus, and it affects all orchards, so that means you could get it in either New World or Old World. And then Get Rich Volume 8, Backlogs on the Fire. All artisan workshops and assembly lines are affected, increased productivity, and a reduction in maintenance cost.
Such marvelous and ingenious mentors as our engineers.
Talent development. Concierge, Madame Blanc, maitre d' of the hotel, and Mr. Bertram, hotel manager. Affects hotel, affects hotel, affects hotel. So they all affect hotels. Chance of fire, illness, reduced bonus residence. That's pretty good. Although I don't think I have anywhere I can put extra people in there. Chance of illness further reduced, and fire, and reduced needs. Those two go well together. And then why is it so much reduced fire? Do hotels catch fire often or something? I don't think I've ever had one. What about these ones? We have the affects all skyscrapers, all shopping arcades, and all restaurants except for the monument. Marie-Louise Carême, chef de cuisine. Canned food as an extra good for all restaurants. Every second cycle. So that's every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes it makes one. Although the workforce needed for a restaurant is vastly increased, 75%. Bonus residents from biscuits, typewriter, cognac, violins, billiard tables, toys, department store, furniture store, and drugstore. I still never really know what does that mean. Because you get 5 bonus residents. I do understand that. But do you gain 5 from just having biscuits? Or do you need all of those things to get the 5? Do you know what I mean? Because people have said conflicting things in comments on that. So I've never actually really tested that. Alright, and then we have Belinda San Pedro, head of arcade acquisitions. All shopping arcades, increased workforce, increased chance of fire, but it replaces the input. Instead of cherry wood, wood veneers, coconut oil, steel, and brass, the building instead processes wood, tallow, and iron. So I guess it depends on your recipe there, but kind of interesting nonetheless. And iron. Affects all restaurants and non-monument. Workforce needed increased. Same with her. Window dresser and sous chef. There we go. All items researched again. Alright, let's find out what's going on with Miss Jenny. What are we lacking? Lacquer? Actually, yeah, I have to fix that. We've been meaning to fix that for a while. Down here is where we make resin. We don't make enough resin to make the lacquer. So we'll have to grab some of this. And I was going to put it over on this island of Rush. I actually can't see the radius for some reason. There we go. At some point I'll probably put a trade union over here to use those new orchard items. That'd be nice. Alright, so that's 4 more. That's 4 resin. So where's our resin route? Resin, malahide production. Oh, we actually go to Rush, which is good. To drop off bread. Drops off bread and then it goes back to malahide to pick up resin. And do we make 50 in that time? Probably not. Could probably pick up more. Again, this is a bit of a messy route. This needs new ships, I think, and it needs to be redone. Resin, resin, resin. Raw material. There we go. I should keep it kind of the same, but mean that we have 100 every time we drop this off. We've got lots of influence now, though, building those extra engineer households. We could just do a little test as well. So, obviously, one engineer household, no influence. A tier 1 skyscraper, 1 influence. A tier 2 skyscraper, 1 influence. And a tier 3 skyscraper, 2 influence. There you go. That gives you a nice indication of how you get the influence there. So tier 2 doesn't really provide influence back at least, but 1 and 3 do. So every household I upgrade to that level 1 would help us out. How is it that you're always so right? What are you lacking? You're lacking furniture? Oh, no. Oh, it's gone offline, though, yeah. Lacking lacquer. Okay, so that improves resin. Let's just see if the actual lacquer production is correct. It's slightly underneath what we need it to be. It's made here, though, if I recall correctly. Ethanol, we know, is fine. Resin's been improved, and sand is okay as well, so there we go. Let's make another one of those, and that's engineer workforce, so it's not that big of a deal. There's actually an item that changes the workforce of the assembly line from workers to engineers, which would be highly beneficial for me, and I feel like maybe most people, I don't know. I mean, it's easier to get workers, but I've got a lot of engineers. I feel like my game's weird compared to your typical Anno player. So hopefully that should fix all that up, that extra lacquer now. So let's, I was going to say let's play around with Miss Jenny and see how that's progressing, and then when we come back we can do some more skyscraper upgrades. Might just do a couple here too. So there we go. Cool. Alright, where are you? Where are you, Miss Jenny? There she is. So let's have a read of our quest, get back up to speed on what's going on. Mr. Bader has been made aware of inconsistencies in the office's budget reports. He suspects that Miss Jenny, aka Theodora, nailed it, might be using the money for her own purposes. Not only would she be disobeying his instructions, but he's also worried that she might be leaking industrial secrets, endangering the worth of his brand. He's asked you to spy on her.
Accounting found discrepancies. I don't like to point the finger, but sounds like Miss Jenny's spritzing our budget on personal endeavors. I think you're more discreet than me. Think you can check?
I can try. Listen to Miss Jenny.
I must hurry. Oh, I do hope the harbor was a good spot to pick.
Brace yourselves, I'm gonna do that voice the whole way. Total immersion.
It really would have been quite preferable to acquire the oils on my own terms, but he seems trustworthy.
Oh yeah, she's not speaking to me. I'm spying on her, of course. She's just talking to herself.
For someone so focused on modernization, Mr. Bader...
Sorry, she just sank through the bridge.
Mr. Bader is peculiarly blind to the future. So much on my mind, and it's all spilling out. Come on, Theodora. Take a breath and hurry along. It'll all be over soon.
I was the one who made all this possible.
Psst. Dora. Oh, Mr. Brookman. There you are. Very punctual.
Dora, please forgive me. I don't have the oils you asked for. Mr. Beta's doing, I presume. Yes, he's having me watched. I can feel it. I want to help, but I can't lose my livelihood over this, you understand? Take a photo of them? Oh god. Those are I guess it makes kind of sense. They're like in the wilderness. You can barely see them. Boom. Wait, what was that? A camera flash? Oh no! Theodora, you were followed! Dun 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 by a floating eye in the sky.
Oh, he sent you. Please at least allow me to clarify the situation before you...
I want to see where he
report
goes.
back to Mr.
I wonder how long he'll walk around for. Oh. And this Theodora's plea. All right, let's listen. Secrecy was my last resort. I pitched my patent to Mr. Beta, used reasoned arguments, said this would attract women, customers, in their droves to the shopping arcades, but he flat out refused. He said it was an empty market. Well, he's wrong. It's only an empty market because women have yet to be allowed in. This product would be a gateway for us. Keep listening. I'd hoped the prospect of a whole new customer demographic would sway him, but this could be so much more. Men shouldn't hold a monopoly on the modern. Modern conveniences can be tools for social emancipation. Products like mine can normalize women running their own budgets, having agency in the world of commerce. The projected sales figures might yet convince him, but I desperately need to finish the prototype first. Will you help me? Well, I have to help her, right? Otherwise I'm like a big bigot. You're damn right, Theodora, something needs to change. I'm in. Miss Jenny, using Mr. Beta's funds for personal gain, I have to report this. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think she should be stealing money or whatever, and then I'm pretty convinced she's the one that sabotaged the guy's campaign. But he did seem like a bit of an ass, so I guess we'll side with her. It's probably the right thing to do.
Such a relief. I had a feeling you might be of open mind. Mr. Beta, of course, thinks you two are like peas in a pod, but then he only ever sees half the picture.
I am open to seeing what's she going to make or
Mr.
create.
Broadman had agreed to supply specific oils I required for a new
I saw
patent
lipstick.
development. As you
thing.
know, he did not deliver, and without them, I am stumped. Can you help?
Yeah, sure. What do you need?
Time is
15 tons of fish oil and 15 coconut oil. Easy.
And if there's any hope of making this product on my own terms, it must be underway
Props are
before he is
spinning.
alerted.
I like her accent. Alright, New World. Portibus. Let's go. Grab that. What is it? Fish oil and coconut oil. Coconut oil. Hint, coconut oil can be produced in the New World orchards. Yes, it can. That must mean that the tourism that added orchards to give coconut oil. Either this quest is different, or if you only bought the High Life. I assume you can buy these individually, right? You could with all the other DLC. If you only bought the High Life, you must be given orchards that do that too, I would assume.
What can I do for you?
But maybe you don't have a need for it, other than this quest. How much do we have on the island? 20? We'll have to take most of it away. But that's okay, as long as we have enough to take. And fish oil should be fine as well. I think we get that at Marbella. We've got 40 minutes to do it. Lots of time. I can speed it up a bit. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm interested to see what she wants to make. You know, the first thing that came to mind would have been, like, women's sanitary products and stuff like that. But I don't recall seeing anything like that. I saw, like, lipstick and stuff. But I guess it's ultimately still stuff, like, aimed at the female market, I guess. But he didn't say he was against... Anyway, I don't know. A portable splash of fiery red for the perfect Cupid's bow. Wants to preserve only of an wants to preserve only of actresses and undesirables, lipstick now heralds a new era of emancipation for women. Suffragettes walking arm in arm, who have the freedom of the arcades. Face cream, a moisturizing lotion that conjures images of groves of citrus in pleasant afternoons. It's soft and gentle on the skin and promises the secrets of eternal youth. Long-term effects unknown. Please read the small print. Terms and conditions apply. May contain traces of nuts. I guess the only thing I'm thinking about is like, well, yeah, it's cool. Okay, cool. Products for women or whatever. It's not exactly like, it's vanity items though. So I'm more like, wasn't that important? But okay. That might just be me though. I'm not really a vain type person. I think it'd be great if... I'm not a fan of the beauty industry, but hey, who am I to dictate any of this? Or care? Who might even give my opinion on it? Who cares? But I'm just like so not into that stuff at all. It bothers me. It bothers me how big the industry is for beautification. Both for male and female. And that we're basically seeing the birth of it here. Led by Miss Jenny, aka Theodora. Possibly. Well, I'm making vast assumptions. I don't know if she's going to be the one that unlocks lipstick. How dare I say that? It could be one of the other things. But they're just the ones aimed at the female market, so I assume so. Alright, zoom out. Let's see where the old airship is. It must be here already.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
Yeah, there it is. Alright,
Hovering.
it's 15 coconut oil and 15... Oh no, we don't have enough coconut oil. Oh, it must have just gotten taken away on a ship. Goddamn. There's probably loads of it, actually, thinking about it in the old world, now that I've thought about it. Yeah, it's 2,000 there. God, I came all this way for nothing. Well, fish oil, I guess we have to get here. There's probably none of that in the old world. So fish oil. I don't know what... Is fish oil an intermediate? It's right there. It's an agriculture product. Alright, cool. Let's go to Lusk. We'll pick up that coconut oil.
Waiting course.
Oh, I meant to slow down time. Whoops. Sorry. Bum, 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 bum. I love that music. It's one of my favorite tracks in the game. Alright, let's try this again. Is it still not operational? Still not enough lacquer? That's mad. Oh, is it just that the thing is too busy? Because we've got 6 on the island, it says. No, this thing's not that busy.
And the toasters even.
Maybe it just arrived. If we only delivered 6, that is a problem. But either way, we can still upgrade some other ones. Actually, no, we can't. If that's not operational, then we can't. I want to get to more tier 3s, not tier 2s. So I have to wait a little while. Let's just check down here. Ethanol's doing fine. Resin is fine. Yes, this should be fine. Should be all good. We do have 39 here. So let me just track the... ship that's supposed to be doing it. It's on its way back down now. So it should pick up a nice big batch of... Oh, actually, I guess it depends how much there's a reserve of. Yeah. There's no reserve. Oh, there is. 25. Okay. So we're picking... Okay, that's good. So it just got 18. Alright, well, it's starting to make a little bit of progress then. That's alright. This has only got, yeah, it's got 3 more in storage. So that's 3 minutes. Everything is 1 minute, isn't it? Yeah. So we'll get there in 3 minutes. I think it'll be okay then. Good. Ship is returned, so let's pick up that coconut oil. And it was 15 again. And drop it off up here. Oh, I never fixed this. There we go. Off we go. Just gonna take a quick drink, enjoy the sights and scenes. She needs a lot of oils, so she needs coconut oil and fish oil. I would assume that's for some sort of beauty product then as well. Double agent. So Miss Jenny, or rather Theodora, has persuaded you that her female-orientated product could help modernize society and provide a much-needed first step towards female emancipation. She's asked that you provide her with the oil she needs to complete her patent, but you'll have to hurry and deliver them before Mr. Bader catches you in the act. All right. I don't know why I went to the center point there. I have to go back over there.
How thrilling! A renowned personage has arrived.
Oh, good. Are those my oils? Oh, just in time. I will use it right away. It was only meant to be the last little tweak to finish the prototype.
No more word from her just yet. Lacquer's doing a bit better. It's starting to pick up. Guess I didn't actually check as well. Intermediate
My
lacquer.
newest patent. You've earned a look.
Yeah, we're
The
okay.
lipstick.
Not
Now
operational
to
though.
persuade Mr. Bader. Once stocked
It
at
was
the
lipstick.
drugstore, it can fulfill its intended purpose.
Bit of a surprise you kept your involvement a secret, Guru. You think her kind can be big players in the world of commerce? I suppose I'm gonna have to hold up my hands and trust your superior instincts.
Okay, so that just means we have that as a thing we can get now, right? Lipstick. So what does it require? Coconut oil, fish oil, and lacquer. So currently we just make the toothpaste, right? I have 40 skyscrapers of the highest level. Investor. Oh my god. If the view of the city is tainted, the investors may come up with some solutions. That's interesting. Complete the Icebound expedition in one of your old world museums. Oh, that's cool. For face cream.
Farmer's life may be humblest, but green pastures, hands swept through corn, that is God's idyll.
That's also quite interesting. Maybe we'll do this in the next episode, try to get some of the last recipes.
This city is a
That
magnet for
said have two
genius.
farms next to each other in Embasa, different types, for them to combine. I'm guessing I probably have to make lipstick then, if we want to progress the story, probably, right? But I'll have to set up a route to deliver that stuff here. We probably need more orchards than making coconut oil, because we definitely don't. Oh no, wait, we have loads of coconut oil. What am I saying? Yeah, maybe just even as a... Oh, we could just set one up. I'm just trying to think. Does fish... We don't get fish oil into Lusk. I don't think. But if we did, we have coconut oil there already. So it's just, if we get fish oil here, then we can send lacquer and everything else up there. But again, that lacquer just stopped working, so I'm gonna have to just check on that. What's the problem? You're missing ethanol. You have 150. It must have just arrived. Damn. Well, we definitely produce enough. It's just whether or not we're delivering enough that regularly, right? Oh yeah, I meant to say as well, on that trade route. God, I'm getting kind of confused now. On the trade route for ethanol, which is coming over with brass from Cape Trelawney. Here it is. We're also bringing flour and brass. Jeez, we have so much brass.
I
Yeah,
don't
definitely to
pretend
clean up some of these routes.
understand artisans. Art is science. Elegant, beautiful, yet fit for purpose.
So we have 856 on that island. It's just about getting it here. You know what? Forget the brass. Just bring ethanol then in big batches. Drop it if there's too much. It's fine. Yeah, sure, fine. And then I'm trying to think like, well, that could be good to bring then something from here over there, right? Because there's routes that go to Lusk, to Crown Falls, yeah, and then it comes back with something. So that's like the ideal thing to do, isn't it? It's like, oh, bring it something and then bring it back something. So I'm just trying to see where could we do that? Is there anything that's not coming back with anything yet? No, so stuff is coming back with stuff. So I guess what we'd have to do is, this isn't. So really what you could do here is, well, that's bringing, yeah, it's not going back with anything though. It's whether or not we need to go back with it, not come forward with it. This ship is done, by the way. Yeah, this route is done. We transferred all the steam motors here, and we don't even need to do that anymore. So this route can go bye-bye.
This is an exception.
So flour from Crown Farms and brass. Yeah, you just keep doing that. It's fine. Okay. Well, that means ethanol is going to be coming in droves, and resin should be okay. Depending on how that route, that more complicated route, is doing things. I guess we could address that now here just at the end of the episode. It'd be the last thing maybe to do. So the route that was kind of going between loads of different islands for resin. Yeah, it's a bit of a messy one, isn't it? So ultimately, we're just trying to pick up resin from Rush and from Malahide and bring it down. It might make more sense to add it to something like where the Cherry Wood route is. So let's see where Cherry Wood is. Fucking... sorry. Cherry Wood. So there you go. Something like that. So maybe add a second ship to this, and yeah, so I've got an idea. Just add Eli's messenger for now. So Cherry Wood, jam. I always think it's a raw material, but it's not. Resin. Jam, resin, cherry wood. The work clothes one is a bit of a strange one to have on here. What was that? That was jam. Okay. It's a consumer good, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Bit messy looking, but should be okay. They're not full of anything. So doing that, that means resin is now taken care. Well, actually, it's not fully taken care of. Because you want to go here as well. Again, this still feels more complicated than it should be, but I think I might just address it at a future time. With 3 ships doing it, though, that should be okay. Alright. What else then? So then we need to get rid of the resin on the other route. At least we can clean that one up a bit. So just forget that. Crap, I'm after losing that route now. That one needs to change what's on the ship because it had an issue. Alright, there we go. Sorry, just very messy, but I think it's okay now. Right, so that's going to give them... Yeah, they've got 100 resin now. Ethanol and quartz sand is fine. Out of curiosity, what population did we get up to in the end? We're pretty... Hey, we hit the next thing. We're up to 90 influence. So engineers climbed to 18,446. Currently we have 17... Or we started with 17,160. So we gained just around 1,300 engineers. Pretty good. I feel it does reflect the time. Let's see. I don't feel like that reflects the time. This is okay though, because that should balance it out. It means our hotels stay operational, full capacity. Excellent.
And especially exclusive. The reality of it hit you?
Can we finally? Yes, finally. There we go. Wanted to just upgrade some of those tier 3s. Sorry, the tier 2s, I should say, up to tier 3. Alright, and now we can just have one last little look at our skyline for now. And there we are. So we have a sort of a central... I mean, again, we can make this look much nicer, I'm sure. But this is going to be kind of the idea, that we'll have these... not evenly spread out either. They're kind of evenly spread out right now, but more, you know, ups and downs of the different skyline of different big buildings and stuff like that. Now, we'll get to the investors eventually. We've got more work to do over there. Might as well just bring this up another level. So it seems like regardless at tier 4 or tier 5, it's giving you 4 influence. So I actually don't need to go up another level if I don't want to. But eventually I'm going to have to, right? Because we need like 75 of them or something crazy. So that's going to be insane. So there's so much stuff to do and ahead of us. It's kind of really, really daunting. But yeah, I think on the next episode I'm going to have to do a bit of a trade overhaul and have a look at where we can like improve certain things. Gold ore is run out. How on earth has gold ore run out now when it hasn't run out, I think, ever before? Maybe it's in the, what's it called, in the Arctic. Is there a problem up there? Nope. Arctic's operational just fine. No one's dying.
For demonstrations, we really...
So that's gold ore there. And don't we... Is that the only place we get gold ore? Man, I'm super confused. I'll have to look back on that.
Curious.
Oh, no, no, no. We bring it in through docklands. Surely. Yeah. It's even more concerning then. Because of steel. Ooh. Getting tricky now. Trade history 0 for 0. Yeah. So we didn't even have 216 steel in the next 8 minutes. Uh-oh. Have to think about that. But like I said, I think we can save a lot on steel now that we have brass coming in from the other place. Because that means that...
inspection.
Oh, that doesn't actually take steel. And iron ore ran out as well. Okay, yeah, there's a bunch of things to figure out and think about. Raw materials, I believe. God, man. Every time typing that thing sucks. The raw materials are arriving all the time. With their iron ore in different bits. But yeah, I'll have to trace that back and see what the problem is. It seems like, my guess is, we're probably running low on iron. The actual iron ore. And when that runs out, I don't know why, I didn't add any extra iron production buildings, so maybe somewhere else is taking it that I didn't think about. So when we run out of iron ore, then we're not making enough steel to then sell in the docklands, and that in turn is meaning that we're not bringing in enough gold to make gold bars, and trade the gold bars for other things. So it's a huge dependency network. That's the word I was trying to think of in the last episode, dependency. So yeah, but it's interesting to follow that along. I'll have to find out what's going on there. The fact that we didn't get rid of any iron, like mines or anything, and I don't think I added anything that consumes ore directly. We're consuming steel with this building. And here as well. So there's 3 new buildings consuming steel, so that kind of makes sense there, but it's like, it looks like the ore itself is running out. It's about to run out right now, and the next shipment's not coming for a while, so I'll have to figure that out. Maybe it just needs another ship on the route, because I know that we're full up over in Cape Trelawney, I think, so I'll just double check that, but I think we are. Yep, totally full. So yeah, it's just a matter of moving it. It's not a big deal. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm having a blast. I'm starting to really enjoy the DLC now as it's getting more and more complicated. Now that our city looks a little bit nicer, just a little bit. Still a little bit strange, but a little bit nicer than it was before. Better than just the giant tower blocks, right? And if we just keep our camera there, it looks pretty good. Alright, that's going to be it. Thank you again very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video is being copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that'll give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.